Happy holidays. Want to give your host a gift? Consider subscribing, rating, and reviewing the show this holiday season. It really helps the show grow. From all of us at Believe, have a Merry Christmas, everyone, and a happy holiday.
Looking for these better days.
It is Football Friday, December 19th. I'm Scott Seidenberg. Here's what you need to know to make today a better day. Arguably the game of the year last night in the NFL. The Seahawks with a historic 38-37 overtime win over the Los Angeles Rams. The college football playoff will kick off tonight with Alabama taking on Oklahoma. Mackenzie Rivers joins me on this episode of Better Day, presented by FanDuel. We're going to stick to the NFL here on this Football Friday episode of the pod. We will have a props pod tomorrow with Chris Dell, the mad journalist from Betting Predators. And we're doing a live stream later on today for Better Day Premium members with Joshua Nunn from the Action Network to preview the college football playoff. And I'll record the audio, so might post that as well in podcast form, or at least send it to Better Day Insider members as well, so people can get a chance to hear what Josh and I talk about. But for premium members, you'll be able to ask your questions in our live stream coming up later on today. More info about that, of course, in our premium Telegram channel. All right, Mackenzie, let's talk about last night where, oh boy, I don't even know where to start. We can start with how historic and rare the win was by the Seahawks. The fact that many people on social media last night don't understand why there's no debate about going for two when you get the ball second in overtime, or the ref show and Puka Nacua and his post-game comments as well. Where would you like to start with last night's Rams? Or how about the other aspect of this? We could talk about the MVP odds. We could talk about the Offensive Player of the Year odds. Or we could talk about the fact that the 49ers are still alive to win the division. So where do you want to start, Mackenzie Rivers?
I feel like these teams were and are who we thought they were. And I know this is going to be a huge win for the Seahawks. The Rams now only have 18% chance to be the number one seed, so that's obviously going to change their path. But I feel like this proved that the Rams are the best team in football. But I don't know, scoreboard at a certain point, I'm not exactly sure how the Seahawks did it. 3 and outs for the Rams in the fourth quarter. Yeah, I don't know. Rams impressed me in this game, despite the loss.
Yeah, the Seahawks became the first team, I believe, in NFL history to win a game in which they allowed 500 or more yards of offense. They turned the football over multiple times and did not get a turnover from their opponents. Yet they still won the football game. 26 first downs for the Rams, 22 for the Seahawks, 581 total yards for the Rams, 415 for the Seahawks, and those 3 turnovers for the Seahawks, 0 for the Rams, yet somehow Seattle wins this game, their largest fourth quarter comeback in their franchise history. They were 0-157 when trailing by 15 or more in the fourth quarter. Make that now it was 0-172.
1-172 now.
Now make it 1-172. Obviously, the game-changing play was the Rashid Shaheed punt return for a touchdown, and the ensuing that wasn't the 2-point conversion then, but they get the touchdown there after Sam Darnold throws an interception. This was the big thing here, right? So Darnold throws an interception in the red zone. When the Rams got that interception, Mackenzie, they were 99% to cover.
Up 2 touchdowns and 2-point conversions.
Mm-hmm. And they had the football on the turnover. They were 99% to cover. Rashid Shaheed returns the punt for a touchdown. They get the 2-point conversion. The Rams then go 3 and out once again, and then the Seahawks score a touchdown, and then the most bizarre 2-point conversion you will ever see, where it was an incomplete pass, the whistle is blown, Zach Charbonnet picks the ball up and hands it to the ref, and then for some reason, they review the play, and then it was determined, thanks to super slow-mo, high-speed speed HD, cameras that the pass
4K.
was actually backwards, and therefore a backwards pass is a live ball, and it didn't matter that the whistle blew, with a clear recovery because Zach Charbonnet picked the ball up in the end zone. They rewarded the Seahawks with a 2-point conversion. I don't know how you can do this. I don't know how this is a rule that you're allowed to do. I don't know what official upstairs is like thinking about taking a look at this when every single person on the field felt that it was an incomplete pass. Just what a really, really weird set of events that occurred here for this.
It was weird on the broadcast, too. I'm not sure which referee who was talking in the mic seemingly the entire game that they have on staff. But immediately the play ended and they're like, I think that was a 2-point conversion. It's like didn't even cross the mind of any of the players. But they seem to have it. And, hey, that made for a great last 6 minutes of regulation. It was the last point scored in regulation. I don't know. It seemed funky.
I just have a massive problem with this play because
it's good for TV.
Because if the whistle blows, the Rams players stop playing, right?
They said the whistle didn't blow?
It did. That's the thing. Al Michaels said. Al Michaels said the whistle didn't blow. They never showed us the live replay, but it's all over Twitter, and I did it myself.
Right.
Go rewind and look back.
Right.
The whistle
it
blew.
would be convenient if they didn't blow the whistle. It'd be, again, good for TV.
Exactly. So the whistle blew, right? But then there's all these people coming out on Twitter saying, it doesn't matter if the whistle's blown or not. The rules state that if there's a clear recovery, then you can award. But my argument is, when the whistle blows, the Rams players stop playing.
How could you not?
So it's just, and then the whole idea of in the fourth quarter or on a fourth down, you can't advance a fumble, right? But it has to be recovered by the player.
The 2-point conversion is not a fourth down?
Yes, but exactly. The 2-point conversion doesn't apply. And also, a backwards pass doesn't apply as a fumble. Because a backwards pass is a backwards pass. Like, it's a live ball, but it's not a fumble.
Considering that we're moving through the galaxy at a certain space-time, if you slow down any pass slow enough, isn't it true that every pass is backwards?
Mackenzie,
think about it, man. Stay with me.
We fold this piece of paper, right? And then we put the pen right through the middle. That is time, okay? We are living on both sides of the plane here. It's just so bizarre. And you know what? I tweeted out so many things about the refs last night, and we're going to talk about Puka Nacua here in a moment. But the one statement that I sent out could not have been more true. What the refs last night did with all the changes is that it took away from everybody talking about the first touchdown of the game that was called back, which, by the way, made us lose our Rams first quarter bet. Let me just vent about this for a moment before I vent about the touchdown being taken away. I had a really good sense that the Rams were getting the ball first, okay? From people that I talked to, from people from just analyzing who calls what when they win the tosses, all this stuff. I had a pretty good high percentage feeling the Rams were getting the ball first. So my play was Rams plus a half in the first quarter. I also played Seahawks to punt on their first drive. Why? Because 7 of the 14 games this season, the Seahawks have punted on their first drive. And I felt, well, we're getting plus money on this. It's 50% on the season, and this plays right into my whole thing of, hey, Rams get the ball first, maybe the Rams score, and then the Seahawks, get pinned back and they punt. Well, the Rams marched right down the field and then went for it on a fourth down and did not get it. Now, why did they not get it? They did not get it, Mackenzie, because they used the virtual measurement, the electronic virtual measurement. However, how ass backwards is this? The virtual measurement should be used to spot exactly where the ball was, right? We put the chip in the ball to find out where the ball was.
Forward progress.
But that's not what they do. What they do is they got the field, with the technology, and they rely on where the ref puts the ball. And then instead of bringing the chains out, they
it's
look
like
at
instead of a plastic measuring tape, they have a laser. And they're
Exactly.
like, here,
No, it's exactly what it is. Instead of
doesn't
pulling
help at
the
all.
action, it's so ass backwards because the ref spotted the ball in the wrong spot. And so, like, yes, it was short of the first down, but the ball, if you watch that replay over and over again, it's like it should have been even more forward. But the ref spots it in a bad spot. So, yeah, it didn't matter the virtual measurement. That's not what Hawkeye technology is. Hawkeye technology, like in tennis or goal line technology in soccer, they know exactly when the ball crosses the line, right? And for the virtual measurement in football, it should be the same thing. You should know when the ball crosses the line because you just gave the perfect analogy. With the ref putting the ball down and then using the technology, all that is just using a laser measurer instead of pulling out the string on a tape measure. It's the same.
And because we know the ball is down, the furthest it goes, if you get tackled backwards, you can just isolate this is the second that he was tackled. Where does the technology say was the furthest point? That was the point where forward progress was stopped.
Yeah, so terrible spot leads to the Rams turning the football over, and then the Seahawks get a screen pass to Kenneth Walker that goes for 46 yards. They score the touchdown, and I'm like, great, our bet is smoked. But it's not really because the Rams have plenty of time to go down the field and score a touchdown. I mean, we lost our
7-7.
Yeah, we lost our punt on the first drive bet, and we lost it, by the way, when the Seahawks took over at the 40-yard line, right? So anyway, the Rams then score a touchdown, and the touchdown gets called back on a penalty for ineligible man downfield.
How far could he have been?
How could you be ineligibly downfield when the snap is from the goal line? There's no yard markers in the end zone, okay? So this is a subjective call by the ref to just guesstimate if he thinks an offensive lineman is 3 yards past the line of scrimmage. He doesn't know for a fact because there's no yard markers in the end zone, right? And also, the play started on the goal line. Do you know how far in the end zone you'd have to be in order to be 3 yards past the line of scrimmage? How
2
in this
yards?
Exactly. How was this called back? And then Terry McAuley, the rules analyst, is like, well, technically, if the rules of the NFL. Now, listen, if we're going to bring up rules on the 2-point conversion, let's bring up rules on this ineligible man downfield. Because as Terry McAuley said, if you're engaged in a block, which the player was, there is no call for ineligible man downfield. So it should have been a good touchdown. So we got robbed of our tying bet or our winning bet right there. And the Rams got robbed of 4 points because they had to kick a field goal after the 5-yard penalty. Those 4 points were huge if you think about it in hindsight. This was not a good night for the refs. Now, the big story coming into the game was Puka Nacua and his criticism of the refs on that live stream that he was on the other night, to the point where, like, he's clearly going to get fined. And last night after the game, in a since-deleted tweet.
I got rid of it.
Oh, of course he got rid of it. Puka Nacua tweets out, literally like 10 minutes after the game, "Can't tell me I was wrong. Appreciate you stripes for your contributions, LOL."
That's nice. He's being nice. He's saying, it's not just the 22 guys on either side of the field. When you step into that white lines, you got the refs, you got the players, and that's how we get it done.
Yeah, can't do it without you guys.
Yeah, appreciate you guys.
Boy.
By the way, great for the 49ers. We just got to win out, including beating the Seahawks, and we are the number 1 seed. So
well,
let's
that's also what I tweeted out last night. I said, not being discussed enough, the 49ers are extremely live to win the NFC West. So let's check out the current odds up on the FanDuel Sportsbook, as the Seahawks are now the favorites to win the NFC West, which is understandably so. Seattle
got the best record.
Yep, Seattle is at minus 135. The Rams are plus 270, and the 49ers are plus 330.
I really like our matchup against the Colts. I really like our matchup against the Bears, and then we just got to win at home versus the Seahawks. Kind of like that plus 330.
Well, we liked it at plus 700. We like it even, we still like it here.
Think about it. But the 49ers didn't play a game, and our odds more than doubled. I like that.
Yes, exactly. Great result for the 49ers last night. Also a great result for the futures market, as Matthew Stafford had his odds fluctuated. At one point, he was like minus 1,200 to be the MVP, but he is still minus 220 to be the MVP. Now, DraftKings has flipped the odds for the Offensive Player of the Year. FanDuel has not. Up on FanDuel, it is JSN, Jackson Smith and Jigba, minus 180, and Puka Nacua, plus 155. DraftKings has flipped that. Puka Nacua has become the betting favorite to be the Offensive Player of the Year, as he is up on DraftKings. Oh, nope, now it is flipped. Okay, so it's back to JSN. So last night after the game, you know what probably happened was...
When they were up in overtime, it was like, all right, we're looking good, Puka.
Well, no, it was even after the game. So they might have been, Puka scores the touchdown, and then he becomes the favorite. And then I guess when JSN scored the touchdown last night, maybe they were just late to react, or people saw Puka become the favorite even after the game and said, wait a minute, JSN just caught the touchdown here, and started betting him after the game, and then they flipped the odds.
So Devontae Adams had 14 touchdowns this season. He obviously missed last night. If Puka Nacua would have gotten 8 of those or 6 of those, this wouldn't even be close.
Yeah.
So if we're seeing a glimpse of what Nacua is going to do without Adams, then yeah, maybe keep him on your fantasy team in the playoffs.
Just an unbelievable game last night. Was it the game of the year? Was it the best game of the NFL season?
Bills Ravens week 1 was pretty good. I would say this one beat it. More drama to the end. I mean, that's what referee cheating does. It keeps it very dramatic to the very end.
Yeah, it was definitely a fun game. Definitely a fun game. All right, Mackenzie, let's take a look at NFL Saturday. That's right. We have games tomorrow, and then, of course, games on Sunday, as this is a Football Friday episode of Better Day. A reminder, the Props Pod will be out tomorrow, and we are doing a live stream later on today on our Telegram channel for premium members to preview the college football playoff, which gets underway tonight. Saturday, we have 2 games on the schedule. The first one being the Philadelphia Eagles at the Washington Commanders. Up on FanDuel right now, Philadelphia a 7-point favorite, total of 44.5. And for Washington, coming off of a good win against the New York Giants, but was that like the last hurrah for this Commanders team this year?
I think so. Even a lot of the metrics during that game, they should have lost by a couple points. So I don't change the fact that I think this is a sinking ship.
First of 2 matchups against the Eagles over the next 3 weeks. So they got Eagles, Cowboys, and then Eagles to end the year for the Commanders. Kind of feels like this is Eagles or pass.
Yeah, I mean, I hate the Commanders at home in general. They've been particularly bad at home versus the Eagles. There's going to be more Eagles fans in FedEx. I think it might be closer to Philadelphia than it is to Washington, D.C. That's how terrible it is.
Is that true?
No, it's not. It's closer to Baltimore, famously, but it can't be closer to Philly.
Yeah, it's 2 hours and 19 minutes.
See,
yeah.
It's a more pleasant drive from Philly with your 9-5 record.
Yeah, it's only a half an hour from DC, so it can't be that. It can't be closer to Philly. You're right. It's a more pleasant drive. Depends who's in the car with you. Packers are at the Bears. This is your nightcap. Bears a 1.5-point favorite over Green Bay up on FanDuel. And it could, again, this could be one of those things where it's injury report related because the Packers injury report just does not look good. You got 10 players that are questionable, and you got several players that are out. So Josh Jacobs and Christian Watson are questionable, as well as several other players. A tight end, Josh Wiley, is out, and guard John Williams is out.
It's too much for me. I like the Packers here quite a bit. This was Packers as a 3-point favorite all week, or all of last week, and then Micah Parsons goes down. That's a huge injury. That's a sack a game. That should get you off of Packers by 3 on the road. All of the other injuries combined, and I think Christian Watson's going to play. I think Josh Jacobs is going to play. I don't think it should move that much. So the fact that they're dogs here makes them teaser candidates. But I love the Packers in general. They've just been a better team this season. If you look at net turnover without EPA, the Packers are 5th. The Bears are 16th. I think they've had a couple marquee wins. Guy took his shirt off. I am selling the Bears stock right here. I'm selling it hardcore.
All right. Let's move on to Sunday's slate of games. You have the Chargers at the Cowboys. LA 2.5-point dogs in Dallas. Now, I looked this up, Mackenzie. This is a rarity here. You have a situation where we have a team that is under 500 that is a favorite over a team that has 10 or more wins on the season. Like
I'm guessing the team that shouldn't be favored, that is favored, like we see in other sports, does great.
So since 2012, teams under 500 favored over a 10-win team, 10-2 straight up, 6-6 ATS.
Okay, all right, man.
I mean, this is two.
That
this
is a
is
huge
2.5.
differential. So it falls like exactly on the number quite a bit.
Well, I didn't look at the exact lines in all these games, but
Yeah, but 10-2 straight up. I mean, how big is that corridor?
yeah, you're right. I mean, yeah. Well, this would be a spot where I wouldn't lay 2.5 with the Cowboys. I just do
Right,
Cowboys
right.
minus Cowboys minus 126 on the money line is the play here.
I went to Chargers team total under last week. I kind of like it again. They just aren't. I know they won their last two games. Their offense was way below expectations in both.
You're right. Yeah, and maybe we go back to the well with that for this game. Vikings are at the Giants. Vikings at 2.5-point road favorites. Total here is 43.5. And as long as there's no like weather issues, Mac, I kind of think the over is the play. The Giants defense has really not been impressive at all. And J.J. McCarthy's looked better over the past couple of weeks. And also for all the conversation about the Brian Flores defense, I think the Giants' offense is an offense to back. Like Mike Kafka's calling aggressive plays, Jackson Dart's making plays down the field. I just feel like both teams are going to score here.
So you want to go Giants team total over? You're thinking? I kind of like the points.
Yeah, maybe that's a good way to go. Yeah, maybe that's a good way to go is go Giants team total over. I just think I was like, well, maybe we can get the over here. Maybe over in the full game.
McCarthy's been a lot better the last 2 weeks. See if he keeps it up.
That's what I'm saying. So maybe just the full game, full game over here for these two teams.
Hey, this is Steve Gorman, radio host, sports commentator, former drummer for the Black Crowes. The winter holidays are here, a time for festive celebrations, family gatherings, and ringing in the new year. Whether it's a holiday party, a night out with friends, or just relaxing by the fire with a few drinks, it's a season full of good cheer. But here's something else to add to your holiday plans, a safe and sober ride home. Just like in sports and music, always have a game plan. And the most important part of any plan is sticking to it. If you plan to drink, take that plan a step further. Call a rideshare, a taxi, a sober friend, or have a designated driver lined up before the night begins. Drinking and driving is a decision that can change your life and the lives of others forever. A DUI, a crash, an injury. The consequences are real and lasting. So please, for your sake and for everyone else on the road, make the smart choice. Get a sober ride home. Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by NHTSA.
All right, let's talk about the Buffalo Bills at the Cleveland Browns. Now up to a 10.5-point favorite. Buffalo is total of 41.5.
This has been one of the teams that the market has been strong on. Bills bet from 9 to 10.5. Seems about right to me. What do you think?
They're rightful 10.5-point favorites. I will say that. And this could be a spot where maybe it's betting the Browns team total to go under. Like I don't think the Browns score any points. The question is, like, Josh Allen and the Bills have been much better in the second half. Do they have to even be good in the second half in this game? Like this, it feels like a smash spot.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe I could see the Bills winning and the Browns running backs still going over. Maybe that's the same game parlay opportunity. Because generally, if you lose as a big dog, you're not going to have the opportunity to run. But this is kind of a special situation. The Bills, for a good team, have like a historically bad rush defense, second worst in the league by EPA. And the Browns aren't trying to win. They're not going to necessarily like say Shedeur Sanders is our only option because we're down 10. I think they're going to still run. So let's see what Judkins is in this one. It's only 60 and a half. I like the over. Okay. Bills win, but Judkins goes over. There you go.
All right. Jets are at the Saints. New Orleans, a 5.5-point favorite, total of 40.5. Jets will start Brady Cook once again. And for New Orleans, I mean, let's give it up for Tyler Shuck. This is now 2 straight weeks. The kids look good, putting together good QBRs, good ratings. Like maybe the Saints feel confident they found something here.
An insane stat about Tyler Shuck, and shout out to Fezzik who had this, and I definitely had no idea. He's gone 5 straight games, without completing a 20-yard pass. They've won the last 2 games. He hasn't completed a 20-yard pass. Maybe that creates some prop opportunities as far as unders on longest passing yards, longest receiving yards. I mean, for individual completions.
Well, they are hurt by injuries here. So Devon Vele, a wide receiver they traded for to give them wide receiver depth, he is out. Devin Neal, the running back, is out. They're already without Kamara. So that would be my one
Yet they're
concern.
being bet up from 2.5 to 6. How bad are bad are your Jets? How bad is Brady Cook?
Bad. Bad.
All right, there you go.
Yes. Bad.
I'll write that down.
Yep. The Bucks are at the Panthers, the first of two divisional matchups here that will decide the NFC South. Tampa Bay, a 3-point favorite in Carolina here up on FanDuel, Mackenzie.
I kind of like Tampa Bay, both off humiliating, shocking losses last week.
Mm-hmm.
But Tampa Bay, 95% of that game should have won. It was really the last 6 minutes kind of let it slip through their fingers. Strength of schedule-wise, Buccaneers 5th hardest strength of schedule, Carolina 17th. So I think that shows up here late in the season. They've been through the war a little bit more.
Yeah, I like it. Cincinnati, now a 4.5-point road favorite in Miami over the Dolphins. Quinn Ewers will start at quarterback for the Dolphins. Is this too much of an overreaction going from Tua to Quinn Ewers?
I think so. This was a pick'em or even Dolphins favored recently. Tua had a 12 QBR versus Pittsburgh. He's been bad. I know it's been cold weather and this would be warm, so maybe it would be slightly better. But I don't think it's a 5-point difference between Tua and anybody, let alone Quinn Ewers' 7th round pick.
Yeah, Cincinnati's defense still stinks. You know, they're still maybe Miami team total over, honestly, because
you got something to play for.
Yeah, they got something to play for. Quinn Ewers is not going to give up, and maybe we don't like them to cover the 4.5, but if that's the case, maybe
because I think Joe Burrow bounces back too. Maybe the game goes over here.
Maybe the game goes over is right. Okay. Chiefs. Speaking of quarterback situations, the Chiefs 3-point favorites at Tennessee. So no Patrick Mahomes, obviously. It's Gardner Minshew now. But how much does the Chiefs, dream crusher scenario here come into play? Listen, I'm not going to bet the Titans with your money, Mackenzie.
Yeah.
But are we laying 3 on the road here with the Chiefs team with Gardner Minshew at quarterback and their season over?
Maybe 3 isn't enough. Maybe we lay 9.5 plus 560. If the Chiefs are going to quit, maybe they just quit. Maybe the Titans rally. This is their Super Bowl. Get a touchdown early, start feeling themselves. The Chiefs is going to be in a sad, sad way in the second half.
Oh, wait, so you want the Titans are +3. You want to bet the Titans minus 9.5?
Minus 9.5 plus 560 I saw today on FanDuel, I think.
There's no way. That has to be way more than that.
Then book it. You can book it. You don't have to argue with me.
Well, alternate
plus
spread
560
here.
isn't enough for you? Giving up I'm giving up essentially 12.5 points.
Titans minus 9.5 is plus 450. That's
it's only
insane.
450? I thought it was 550.
No, that's insane.
I need more than 450.
I need more than 550.
Dude, it's so possible. Think about it. The Titans are going to be the opposite of down. The Chiefs, if they're, who cares if Gardner Minshew shows that he's a viable quarterback or not?
There was a big story floating around the internet. Well, I don't know if it's a story, but the conspiracy theorists on the internet were out the other day because on the latest
plus 540 at DraftKings.
On the latest Kelsey pod, right?
Okay.
They were talking about the injury to Mahomes. And every time Travis Kelsey was talking about Mahomes and his recovery, he said the Chiefs. He didn't say we or us. He said, well,
my former employer.
Like he said things like, well, look, listen, the Chiefs are hoping that he'll be back for week number 1. And listen, if Mahomes comes back and he's good for week number 1, then the Chiefs are going to be fine. And they should have he said the Chiefs multiple times. So a lot of people are speculating that Kelsey's retiring. This is it. And this kind of plays into maybe the whole, dream crusher scenario, right?
Are you sure he doesn't do a Tony Gonzalez and go to Atlanta for 1 year? Something like that? Because the fact that he's saying the Chiefs almost seems adversarial. I'm not sure what they're going to do with their quarterback injury problems, but yeah, it's tough out here. It's cold outside.
Does he go to the Eagles?
Does he go to Philadelphia? They don't really need. Does anyone need a second string tight end real bad?
The Broncos up to now 3.5-point favorites over the
Okay.
Jacksonville Jaguars. I love the Broncos here in this game, Mackenzie.
I did at 3.
Yeah.
At 3.5. I mean, that's a huge move.
I think they dominate the Jaguars, though.
Not a believer in Trevor. The best 2 games of his career, arguably QBR wise. Trevor Lawrence, is this the savior that we all were promised 5 years ago out of Clemson?
I'm a bigger believer, though, just in the Broncos.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't know. I'm just giving you the talking points of Trevor Lawrence fans.
No.
I was more impressed by Denver last week versus a real team than Jacksonville versus the Jets.
Yeah. I think 3.5. Monitor the spread. Obviously, I don't want to lay 3.5, but at 3, certainly.
Looks like DraftKings has a 3 minus 15. Scoop that up while you have it.
Yep. I'm on the Broncos here in this game. Cardinals host the Atlanta Falcons. Atlanta 2.5-point road favorites. Total of 47.5. Does this feel like an over game?
Yeah, they have the number 1 pass, and we're going to talk with fantasy expert, the Mad Journalist, about how to take advantage of this. But Cardinals number 1 pass versus expectations. They essentially have given Jacoby Brissett the keys, and no one's seen him. He's driving around the city somewhere.
Yeah, and Raheem Morris's defense is like nowhere to be found. Like the Falcons can be scored on. So
For sure.
This feels like an over game here. Steelers are at the Lions. We have Detroit, a 6.5-point favorite over Pittsburgh. This is a big line.
Is it Pittsburgh? Now they're 2-10 without J.J. Watt, but their defense, even against the Dolphins, wasn't great statistically. I know they gave up a lot of yards late, which didn't matter, but their defense isn't the defense of years past. In Detroit, on that fast track, I kind of like Lions to score like they usually do down there.
Yeah.
You think too much? By the way, 7s is common now. You can get a 7 if you're a Pittsburgh backer.
Yeah. Don't know how long TJ is going to be out. I guess they're hoping that he can be back for Week 17 against Cleveland if they need him in that game in Week 17, but missing this game.
And the way it breaks down, and we did the NFL playoff machine with each other yesterday. The Steelers, do they really need this game? Because if the Ravens win, or if the Ravens lose, the Steelers can lose, and it doesn't change anything for them.
Yes, you're right. So, the Ravens game.
This is the one they can kind of let slip.
And so maybe that's why maybe that's a good way to bet against them, is just thinking that the motivation is going to be on as long as they win next week, and then especially the week after that against the Ravens, this game doesn't really mean much for them. So
they'll have Week 18 to clinch the division.
Exactly. Houston Texans now 14.5-point favorites over the Raiders. This is a massive line, Mackenzie, a massive line. But think about this. The total is 37.5. Now, this is what do we call it? The anti-common sense.
Exactly. The anti-common sense trend.
The
super low
trend.
total. Yeah.
Yes. We always think, or people would always think, that when you have a total that is this low, so you have a total that this low, and the line is this high, like it can't be. You got to take the points. You got to take the points of the team here. Is it true, or what do you think?
It recently hasn't been true, and let me just pull up total under 40 line of or 10 plus. 6 and 4 just since 2021, and the thinking is why it's kind of reversed itself is because people are like, well, I can't lay this much with a total that low, so it kind of has this artificial dampening effect where maybe the line should be bigger. That said, I think the total is low enough where I can't bet the Texans here. The Texans, I know they beat the Cardinals by 20, but a lot of those stats, a lot of the metrics said it should have been a much closer game. I still don't think, even withstanding last week, that they're a team that should be laying double digits. 2 touchdowns, in fact.
This is just the second game. This is the first game since 2020 with a line of 14 or more and a total under 38.
It's pushing the common sense to its max.
So we saw it in 2020, Saints Broncos was a 15.5 point spread.
Wow.
And a total of 36.
Do you remember the particulars of that game? It's somewhat of a famous game when it comes to NFL pricing. That was the game during COVID where the Broncos were out of quarterbacks. All of their quarterbacks were in COVID protocol. So Kendall Hilton, their 6th or 7th string receiver, ended up being the quarterback. It was kind of close for the first couple quarters with Taysom Hill versus Kendall Hilton. Eventually, though, the real-ish quarterback, Taysom Hill, won easy. I think it was, 31-10 final, 31-3?
31-3 was the final, so the Saints did cover that line. The last time before that was 2010, Steelers-Panthers. The line was 14 with a total of 37. Steelers won that game 27-3. They covered that one.
2-0 favorites on a low total.
Before that was also in 2010. Steelers and Browns, total of 37.5, line of 14. Steelers win 28-10. They win and cover that game. So, and the year before that, 2009, Steelers. Why are the Steelers double-digit favorites with low totals? Crazy. Steelers-Raiders.
Blitzburg.
Yeah, Steelers-Raiders 2009. They were 14.5 point favorites, total of 37. They actually lost the game outright, 27-24.
Ooh, interesting.
The before that, though, 2008, Titans against the Browns. Total of 37, line of 14. Titans win 28-9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 in the last 5 instances straight up in ATS. But if you go back much, much further, like, this is the thing. If you go prior to, like, the year 2000, it's all dogs covering. It's
because
insane.
It was so much. I mean, that's where the common sense was established.
Yes. It's
just so many points.
It's insane how many. Like, I'm looking at since the start of 1990, and I'm just going to go up to 2000. Ready? 1, 1-1, 2-1, 3-1, 4-1, 5-1, 6-1, 6-2, 7-2, 8-2, 9-2, 10-2, 11-2, 12-2, 13-2, 13-2 ATS for the underdogs. Mackenzie.
So do we lump that in? Do we like that?
That's from 1990 to 2000. From 2000 on, right? So from 2000 on, it is not 200, you moron. There's 3 zeros in 2000. From 2000 on, it's 7-1 ATS, but 14-1 straight up. So, but 4-1 in the last 5 games. So
you're making your max bet on the Raiders or the Texans?
Texans money line,
Okay,
minus 1350. Book it.
Easy.
Let's talk about the Sunday night game, and that is the Ravens hosting the New England Patriots. Ravens 2.5 point favorites, total of 47.5.
This line says that the Ravens are even with New England, or slightly better even.
Yeah.
I don't really see how you get there. And I have not been a Patriots backer. I was telling you how I thought the downgrade was appropriate, considering that they lost to the one real team that they faced recently in the Bills. But three's a steep price for a struggling Ravens offense. I know they turned it around a little bit last week.
So in our latest Fezzik Power Rankings up on BetterDay.com for Insider and Premium members, Pats 4.5 points better than an average team. Ravens 4 points better than an average team. Fez would have the Pats a half point better on a neutral.
So this would say that says it's Ravens or pass. That actually says Ravens strongly. You got to bet it.
Wait, really? No, if the Pats would be a half point favorite on a neutral?
Yeah, because this isn't a neutral. This is
so we're giving the Ravens 2.5 for home field. We're giving the Ravens 3 points for home field.
Either way you do it, the Patriots should be less than that. If it's 2.5, then the Patriots should be plus 2.
You just said it's Ravens or pass. You mean Patriots or pass?
I meant Patriots.
Okay. Yeah, I was about to say, you meant Patriots or pass.
Yeah.
I think Patriots as a teaser candidate from 2.5 to 8.5 for sure. Do you have a dance partner with that?
I love the Packers. Packers, dogs, big game.
Packers from 1.5 to 7.5.
Yeah.
Patriots from 2.5 to 8.5. How about Chargers?
Bills from 10.5 to 4.5.
No, we don't tease down. How about Chargers from 2.5 to 8.5? Can we get a 3-leg teaser
I'm,
here?
I'm worried about the Chargers. I feel like they could have a
Okay.
real stinker.
How about if you want to tease down? How about Eagles from 7-1?
They're not going to lose in Washington.
They're not losing.
Yeah, that would be my dance partner.
They're not losing in Washington, right? Yeah,
That's what I'm
they're
saying.
not losing. All right, we will do Monday Night Football coming up on Monday. We will do our props pod with Chris Dell tomorrow, so we'll make sure that we get that out for you guys in case you want to bet any props for the Saturday night football games. Prop sheet will be sent out to you guys as well. And as a reminder for Better Day Premium members, we are doing a live stream with Joshua Nunn from the Action Network coming up later on this afternoon to preview the college football playoff, and maybe I'll send out a little newsletter on the college football playoff games to get you ready for that as well. For Mackenzie Rivers, I'm Scott Seidenberg. Here's hoping you make today and every day a better day.
If you're the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, you know having a trusted partner makes all the difference. That's why, hands down, you count on Grainger for auto reordering. With on-time restocks, your team will have the cut-resistant gloves they need at the start of their shift. And you can end your day knowing they've got safety well in hand. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Happy holidays. Want to give your host a gift? Consider subscribing, rating, and reviewing the show this holiday season. It really helps the show grow. From all of us at Believe, have a Merry Christmas, everyone, and a happy holiday. If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.